Welcome to Joy, Passion, and Profit, where we empower entrepreneurs to build companies that change the world. We believe there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur, and our goal is to provide you with insight and wisdom to bring your vision to reality. If you're committed to making an impact as well as making a profit, let us welcome you to Joy, Passion, and Profit. Hello and welcome to Joy, Passion, and Profit, where our intention is to empower entrepreneurs to build companies that change the world. You see, it is my belief that there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur than right now. And my goal is to bring you the insights and information that can support you in becoming that amazing entrepreneur. So I seek out interesting people who can provide us with some insights. And so I've got an amazing guest, and I'm going to call her Dr. Amy. And I've got to share how I met Dr. Amy. I was on LinkedIn and I'm scrolling through my connection feed, and all of a sudden I see this attractive woman, and she's got like these purple lips, and she's got this tattoo on her shoulder, and she's got this really spiritual kind of vibe going on. And I thought, wow, she's pretty interesting. But then as I started reading through her bio, I was literally blown away because I had some preconceived conceptions about her based on her appearance, but then I found out that she is a PhD in mathematics. She's worked for NASA, and I was like, whoa, here's a person who's integrated head and heart. And I said, this is a person that I've got to get on the show so she can share her wisdom with us. So Dr. Amy, let me just say welcome and hello. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm so thrilled. Thank you for this connection. It's I've had a pretty wild life, so thanks for noticing. But I was so thrilled when you asked me to come on. It's any chance I can get to help, I'm excited to help. So I'm so happy to be here.
Great. Now we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Primarily, we're going to focus on dealing with venture capitalists. But let's begin, first of all, with a few icebreaker questions. So first of all, tell us where you're from and a little bit about you growing up.
Whoa. So I was actually born in Fayetteville, Tennessee, on the border with Alabama. So you'll hear a little Southern accent coming out every now and again. But I was mostly raised in Orlando, Florida. And it was a pretty, middle-class upbringing, but both scientific parents. My dad was a physicist and my mom was a computer scientist, so there was absolutely no opportunity to get anything less than an A in math and science. But it was great. I was a weird kid. When I loved to, when I'd get home from school, most kids would turn on the TV and try to find some cartoons or something. I would go out in the backyard and meditate in the grass. I didn't know that's what I was doing. I just need to go sit quietly for a little while. Would build blanket forts with my big sister. Great fun. And she'd be playing house and I'd be meditating. And she's like, "You're weird." I'm like, yeah, I am. But I love to make art. I love to think about really big questions, even as a 5, 6, 7-year-old, 8, 9, 10-year-old sitting there questioning the nature of the universe and wanting to read about Einstein and this crazy concept of the Big Bang and all this stuff. And I was fascinated with all that. And so I tended to hang out by myself and make art and think big questions and explore that. And so then when I was 16, I got the opportunity to work at NASA for the summer. And that's a bit young. It was a special program for high schoolers, but even then they tended to want kind of 17, 18. But they took me. I was really excited, and I got to work on plant-based biology. So it was real research. The first time I ever had real research that I was doing. And I loved it. I loved the process of researching something and finding evidence and drawing conclusions. And it was really cool. And it was about creating the right fluid solution for a hydroponic system to grow food for the space station.
Wow.
Now this was back in, the space station didn't exist yet. This was in preparation. So this was back in 1991, the summer of 91. And they were trying to get ready. And so those hydroponic systems that were designed by my mentor there are on the space station today. I don't know if they're using my solution or probably more advanced version since then, but it really grabbed me, that experience, to connect with science and the process of research in that way. And so eventually I started kind of putting the two together. Could I research the big questions about life?
Wow.
And now that fast forwards through a lot of random crazy stuff, but that was me as a kid.
Well, that speaks volumes. I mean, that says so much, and I could go into a bunch of different layers, but I'm going to kind of leave it right there. But name a favorite book and tell me why you like it. Since you're, and I know it's going to be hard to grab one, but try to grab one. Yeah. What comes to mind?
Okay, the very first one. And this is going to sound crazy as the first one to pick, because there's just so many amazing books out there. But The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss.
Interesting.
And the reason that one is the first one that comes to my head, and even though there are just, I want to rattle off a whole bunch of names, but so many amazing authors and so many influential and amazing books out there, that's the one that sparked off my major personal growth, a major period of personal growth. And it came down to the title of one section, one sentence, 4 words: everything popular is wrong.
Oh, wow.
And I sat there and at first I thought it was, that's cute, that's cheeky, that's fun. And then I was like, no, wait. That might be right. Wait a minute.
Profound.
I need to start asking some more questions, and I love good questions. So I was kind of like, and it opened up a whole set of ideas for me. I love that book.
Now, on a perfect day, what would Dr. Amy be doing?
That's one of my favorite questions. What does a perfect day look like to you? My perfect day, which is just about every day, I'm so lucky and enjoying this period of my life right now. So I'm living my perfect day almost every day, and it looks like this. I get up, have a huge breakfast, love breakfast. Lord help me, good stuff, and then I take a little time with an extra cup of coffee, and I work on language. I love learning languages. And so I work on language for about an hour after breakfast. Then I'll do some form of meditation for about half an hour. And then I go for a workout. That can be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. Love a good workout. Absolutely love it. Got to get it done in the morning though, or I'll tend to cop out. I know myself too well. So got to get it done. After a good workout, have a lunch, and then the afternoon is structured, crazy, regimented. The morning is. The afternoon is unstructured creative time. It's whatever I feel guided to do. And I might feel guided to write. I might feel guided to make music. I might feel guided to make art. I might feel guided to take a nap. That's rare. Sometimes though, you get injured, you get sick or whatever, you need to take some downtime. So afternoon, whatever I'm guided to do. And then the evening is just usually reading, looking for more big questions to answer. And then I'm kind of an early to bed girl, 9, 10 o'clock. But that's my perfect day. Now, sometimes all that free flow time in the afternoon is done at a coffee shop, and I love the coffee shop.
That sounds like the perfect day.
It's
sounds
awesome.
like the perfect day. So now I'd like you to introduce Dr. Amy, the professional. And you had in your LinkedIn profile, you had a middle name and a last name. I was like, I just like Dr. Amy. So introduce Dr. Amy however you choose to.
Right. I have a lot of names. And so my last name is my second married name, which is Messegee, which is a fun Greek name. I told my husband that is love that I took that name because nobody can spell it, nobody can pronounce it. It's a little bit of a challenging last name, and but that period of time was an opportunity for me to really explore what I wanted to. I had gotten, about that same time, had gotten to a really good place in life with financial independence. And so here I was now in this beautiful new marriage, and my husband had challenged me to go do the art and music and the writing and the things that he knew I loved to do. I knew I loved to do, but I was always so busy off doing other things, right? So he's like, do it. I dare you. And he dared me. And I was like, oh, it's on now. Okay, all right. So I had to do it. And when I thought about it, I'm like, what names do I want to use? Well, the last name's a bit difficult. And Amy, my mother named me Amy after a soap opera character. So I thought, well, not as much meaning there, but my middle names, I love my middle names, Catherine, Colleen. Catherine was my grandmother. She was so positive and happy and joyous all the time, so wonderful. And Colleen is the real name of one of my aunts, who is an artist by another name, but her real name, her real middle name is Colleen. And so I just love that combination of joy and art. And I thought, that's really who I've always been, right there in the middle. So my artist name on my website is Catherine Colleen. When I put out music albums, it's under Catherine Colleen, because I felt like that was maybe the core of who I am. But everybody calls me Dr. Amy, and that stems from right out of grad school being a professor. And, and doctor last name felt too stuffy, and I wanted to connect more with my students than that. So I said, well, let's go Dr. Amy, because, and that's a nice balance.
There you go. Now, so you've got what I would call, or some people might call, hard skills, which in my judgment would be intellect. So professor of mathematics, defense technology scientist, entrepreneur. I mean, so you've got all these hard skills, but then you've got these soft skills, which to me is the hard skills. And I'm curious though, because I know that there are two things that will cause a person to change. One is pain, and the other is what I call divine discontent. So was there something that happened that challenged you to say, shall I say, get out of your head and get into your heart? Was there
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And you're absolutely right on both fronts. So it was a little bit of both. And I can mark the day that it really all started, and it kind of got boosts along the way. Acceleration when I wasn't giving it enough attention. I was 31, so this is quite a while ago, and one day I was looking in the mirror, getting ready for work, and it's like somebody else was looking out my eyes at me. It's like I woke up and somebody else had driven the car into a ditch. It was time out. I don't like where things are going physically, emotionally, relationship, that something was wrong there, work, I wasn't happy. And it was just, something's got to change now. And I felt this at the same time. So that was the pain, that it was also the divine discontent. That's a really cool way to express it. It felt like there was something out there I didn't know, in the much larger sense of something out there, something I was clueless about. And I knew what I needed to do. It immediately came to me that I needed to take this personal growth journey. And I didn't know what that meant. And I didn't know how to do it. And I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of started with exercise, because I had a little bit of experience there, and I felt like I knew what to do. And I said, well, let's just do that. And then that acts as a form of almost meditation. You ever just zone out on a treadmill or on a, machine of some sort? You're just kind of zoning out and things just come to you. Oh, I should read this book. Okay, I'll go read that book. And it just kind of flowed from there. But that actually began an extraordinarily painful period of time. I had to go through deeper pain to get to the other side, because I had made some bad choices.
Yeah.
Right.
We all have.
Yeah. And when you wake up and you choose to stay awake and you choose to take that journey that we all do at some point, it means you're going to face yourself, and you're going to face your past, and you're going to face your present, and you're going to have to fix some things if they're not right.
Yeah.
So, I'm a person who, I have a very hard time witnessing the suffering of others, but here I was working in the war industry.
Oh.
Girl, what are you thinking? Right? Every day is war and sadness, and like, this sucks. It's an important industry, and somebody's got to do it, but maybe that wasn't the best suited for me. And I was in a what we're going to call an unhealthy relationship that I had to work my way out with. So then ensues divorce. Then inevitably follows financial difficulty. Then, and so I chose to walk through that fire, and that continued to push my growth. So there was a continued pain and continued divine discontent there, that really pushed it to keep going. And so you're right. That's how it works.
So for all you entrepreneurs out there who are watching this, my belief is that the universe is perfect and everything happens for a reason. And so we each receive what I'll call divine wake-up calls. And like yourself, Dr. Amy, I went through a divorce, a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, a deep state of depression. I was homeless for 2 years, living out of a car.
Wow.
And so it was that divine slap upside the head, I think, that the universe had to take to wake me up.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching this and maybe you're dealing with some challenges and some adversities right now, rest assured that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And my hope is this conversation sort of gives you hope and lets you know that that's something that you'll get through, because you can get through it. You will get through it. And so the whole intention of this program is to be a light, to shine, to let people shine that light on the dark places, because there is another side. And trust me, I've been on both.
Yeah.
and that dark side can be really painful. But I honestly know that all of the pain, all of the darkness actually prepared me to do exactly what I'm doing today. I'm absolutely clear on that. So rest assured that everything is perfect right now. It may not feel like it, but it's perfect. And so what we're going to do is we're talking about, entrepreneurship as this program. And one of the things that, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to deal with getting money, capital. That's probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest challenge we have as entrepreneurs. And so what I want to do is I want to pick Dr. Amy's brain, because she has extensive experience in this. And on your website, it says that you are responsible for reading the founder's true intent.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so that it's a really fun job, and I've done this. I used to do this for defense industry. I would read the customer, and in terms of venture capital, I would read the founder, because you go into a meeting with a founder. Let's say you're the venture capitalist, so I'm on the side of the venture capitalist, and they're trying to decide, do we want to invest money in this founder? Well, there's a lot of questions there. What's this founder's true intent? Is this thing real? And then all the usual questions that you expect. venture capitalists to worry about. But there's something, can I trust this person?
Interesting.
Or is their intent to, take the money and run? Is their intent to are they the type of person who would do something untoward in order to seek success? Are they someone we can trust not to create bad headlines, and also things like that? Who is this person really? What's really their intent here with this business? Not just my intent is to make this product and have a successful exit. Of course it is, but down deeper, emotionally, deep down in their heart, down in their soul, who are they? And I've always had the ability to read people, and not just their body language, but right down into what it feels like to be them. And it's something I honed over the years by adding skills like body language, micro expressions, and stuff like that. But it really comes down to, we'll call it an energetic reading of these founders, to try to get a sense of, are there any red flags here? Is this intention pure? And now a pure intention could be, we're going to grow a business and we're going to make a lot of profit and we're going to have a great product and people are going to love it and we're going to do good for people through our product. That's a great intent, but you want to look for anything not quite right.
So you're reading this energy, if you will. Mm-hmm. So are you picking up things like narcissism or, a lack of confidence, or, are you picking up those types of red flags? Is that kind of what you're...
It's that kind of thing. It's like a vibe, right? And we've all done it, where we're in a room with someone and you get a vibe and you're like,
Yeah. Right.
Don't think, sometimes you get an untrustworthy vibe and something like that. So it's like that. And it's just diving much deeper and to pick that apart. Why am I getting this negative vibe from this person?
Yeah.
What exactly, are they just nervous? Maybe they're just nervous, right? This is nerve-wracking stuff to pitch a VC. What's really going on there? And so it might be, they're ego-driven. Usually that's kind of obvious when you see it. You're like, yeah, one of those. That's not always a red flag. That doesn't always mean you shouldn't put money into that. Sometimes that's what you need in a founder. But it's just getting inside their heads and their hearts and their souls all at the same time and saying, what are you really about? And there's a lot of questions that go with that, because when you're looking for a good founder, you're looking for what you call the hard skills, right? Maybe you need charisma. Maybe you need to be able to present well, or have a good solid technology idea, or different things like that. And these are very important to look into. But you're looking for certain types of personalities. You're looking for certain types of how they energize a room or not. Because that's how they're going to energize a great team of people or not. And so that deeper, there's a special quality there that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's a lot deeper than resumes and technology ideas.
Right. Got it.
Yeah.
Now, how important, because I've never dealt with a VC, but how important is the content in a business plan when you go to present to the VCs? Because, people will create these business plans. They've got these crazy projections and, sometimes they're way out of line. So I'm just curious, from a venture capitalist perspective, when they see these business plans, how much credibility, I guess, do they take from those?
There's some parts of a business plan that are incredibly important, and they give that, they really do read that in detail. And other parts that they're just like, yeah, sure. So, so for example, when you're explaining how let's say it's technology, right? Because there's a lot of money flowing into all different types of technology. When you write up how this technology works, or we haven't developed it yet, but here's why we think it will work, that's critical. You need to have some credence. You need to have some viability behind this thing that you think you can create, or this product that you think you can improve. And so that they read very, very closely, and they scrutinize it very closely. Other things like a financial projection, just like that. Okay, that's cute. That's fun. Yeah, okay. Because everybody's coming in there with $1 billion financial projection. Of course they are. You're not going to walk into a VC going, I think I can make 20K. You know, you're going to be like, this is huge. This is big. It's the next Twitter. Yeah, so that stuff, you kind of got to put it in there, and, because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I've seen some really smart business plans. Now, this may be because I appreciate cataloging the unknown, but the ones that I've noticed that get VCs' attentions, at least the ones that I've worked with, have put in a catalog of what they don't know. Here's a catalog of, like a bullet list of our assumptions that we need to test. Here's what we're not 100% certain about. And there's a couple of ways that you can test the realism of the founder. And one of them is that they admit what they don't know. They're not 100% certain. It's like, oh yeah, we got this. It's gonna be $1 billion deal. All right, let's go. Yeah, no, you don't. But you may for right now, but it's gonna smack you upside the head next week. So admitting what they don't know, right? Here's what we know, and here's what we're kind of assuming, and we need to test these assumptions, and here's how we're gonna test these assumptions to make sure that we're right. And because it's when you find out that some of your assumptions were wrong, that you end up with that all important pivot they talk about in the startup world, right? We're going to try something and then we're going to pivot. Well, why did you pivot? Oh, because we found out we were really wrong about something. And that's fine. That's good. That's great, right? Find it out early and make a move and change and do something else. But really cataloging those assumptions is a nice thing to throw in there, as well as a discussion about how you're going to test them quickly and early.
Yeah. Now, it's been said that some VCs are actually attracted to entrepreneurs that have failed in the past, because they say it gives them experience, and if they were able to rebuild themselves, you know, they say that's an asset. So from your perspective, how true is that? Do VCs go, oh, you failed, I don't want to talk to you?
Yeah, it's there are two kinds. I'm sure there's more than two kinds of VCs, but from every one of them that I've worked with, the VC has been founded by someone who has known hardship, has known challenge, has known failure in some respects. And it may not have been a business respect. It may have been they were in the military and they lost a soldier under their command. You know, there was some form of what they would call failure had happened to them. And therefore they look for people who are in the same boat, because failure makes you humble. Failure makes you willing to say, I think I'm wrong about this thing and we need to change it. Whereas if you've never failed, it's the same problem that you get with straight A students. There's companies that won't hire straight A students. It's the same problem you get. They think they're never wrong. And that's not good. You know, so yes, it's so absolutely true. Now there's a couple of VCs out there that I'm aware of that prefer very, very young people, just because, like Y Combinator, because they and it's funny, we think of Gen Y as that's young, and millennials would laugh at that right now, but used to be. So they prefer the very, very young. Now, when you pull in the very, very young and you make it competitive, you may get some of those wonderful overachievers, which can be great, but they're so young they haven't failed yet. But otherwise, it's absolutely true. A failure in the past is generally a good thing. Of course, it depends on why you failed in the past. Right. But it's okay. I wouldn't be shy to admit that, to say, you know what, here, and pick it apart, do the hot wash on it, where you say, yeah, this this venture, this previous one didn't work out. And here's why. Here's where I think it went wrong. Because they love someone who's willing to analyze that. Because that's what they do all day long. Why did the ones that didn't work out, why didn't they work out? And the ones that did work out, why did they work out? And that's what the venture capitalist is doing, because that trains them on how to spot them.
Good advice. So, wow, time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
So, I want you to now take and just think. So you got these guys that are watching, guys and girls who are watching this, and they're thinking about maybe pitching their ideas to a VC. What are your closing thoughts on what they should do? What advice would you give to that young entrepreneur who's going to meet a VC for the first time?
So number one, recognize that they are just people too. They're just people. And your future does not rest on this one meeting. It's really important to get some perspective on that. Also recognize that you are not always right, and this idea you've got may be great or it might be crap. I don't know. Try to assess it honestly. Be really, really super honest. This should be obvious, but maybe it's not. Be really, really honest about yourself and your ideas and the strengths of yourself and your ideas. And once you've got all that packaged up and you go into that room, you have one mission and one mission only, and it's not get the money. Because if you go in there with the get the money, that's your intention, that's going to go badly. You're either going to get the money in a way that works out badly, and there's a lot of ways that can work out badly. But when you go in there with the emotional basis of your interaction is greed or fear, like fear of not getting money, that's going to go badly. So you want to go in there with one intention, and that is, I want to connect completely to this person who's listening to my pitch. They're a person. And as they say, they're fighting battles you know nothing about. They're just human, and they have a heart and a soul too. And if you can just connect with them, oddly, that's the key.
That is probably the best advice I've ever heard when it comes to seeking funding. Very powerful. Thank you for that. I was inspired by that because I'm thinking, okay, let's see. Fortunately, I'm not in the need of a VC right now, but if I did, I would do exactly what you just said. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for sharing that. Well,
Absolutely.
Now I'd like to give you an opportunity as we wind down here to give people an opportunity. How will they connect with you? But before we do that, I do want to say that we're going to have a second segment to our conversation, Dr. Amy. So I'm really glad that we're going to kick it off. And so for those of you who are watching, if you really want to go a little deeper in what we're talking about, you don't want to miss the next episode, because we're going to be talking about consciousness and connection, and it's going to be amazing. So mark your calendars. Next episode is going to be really powerful. Okay, Dr. Amy, so how can people find out more about you?
They can go to my website, and there's two ways to get there. You can go to KatherineColleen.com. Or you can go to KOABD, as in kind of a big deal, .com, and that will forward you over to KatherineColleen.com. And that's really the best way to contact me, is the community page at the website. There's a little form there, and it comes straight to me, and I personally respond to absolutely everything that comes through that form. And that's absolutely important to me. And so I love to connect with people in that way, because through email, they're willing to talk about things they may not be willing to talk about on social media, but that they may need to talk about. So that's the number one best way. Go to the website. I'm on social media in that I put all my stuff out there on the various channels, which is a fun way to ingest it if that's how you prefer. But the website's where it's at.
Fantastic. Well, it has been an amazing experience. And I knew, I trusted my gut. And I said, this person I want to talk to, because I could talk to you for hours. I already know that. So
we have so much we could talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to say thank you again for joining us in Joy, Passion, and Profit. And so for the listeners out there, this has been another episode of Joy, Passion, and Profit. And I want you to remember, express your joy, share your passions, and be grateful for your profits. Take care. We'll see you next episode. Thanks for joining us here at Joy, Passion, and Profit. Always remember, you are the master of your own destiny and the captain of your own ship. There are no limits to what you can accomplish, and you are only limited by your imagination. Dream big and navigate your ship in the direction of your dreams, and once you get there, reach back and grab someone else and show them how to reach theirs. We'll see you next episode.